Welcome to the Positive Pants Podcast. Mindset, motivation, and inspiration to help you find your positive pants. It's time to let go of negative thinking, understand why you do what you do, and stop the self-sabotage. With your host, Fran Excel.
Welcome to the show. As always, it's Fran Excel, your resident subconscious success mentor, helping you find your very own pair of positive pants so you can get out of your own way and live a life that you love. If you want to stop sabotaging your own success and let go of the stress, then you are in the right place, my friend. Make sure you download your free Stressed to Success guided meditation at bit.ly/stressed to success as my little gift to you for being here. Please do subscribe, share, review. It really, really helps people that need to hear this message find us, and I so appreciate it. In the show notes, you will also find details of how you can work with me and where you can get your mitts on my meditations, products, and printables. You can also find it through the link in my bio on Instagram, which is my second favorite place to hang out. So please do come join me over there at I'm Fran Excel. Tag me in your takeaways, slide into my DMs. I am here for it. So that is the formalities over, my love. So let's jump into the content. Do you know how to rest? And I mean really rest, the kind you actually get the benefits from, as opposed to the kind where you tell yourself you're resting, but really your mind is racing, you're scrolling social media, online shopping, guilty as charged, and you're feeling guilty about this imaginary rest all at the same time. Not the kind of things we pretend are rest, but actually end up using more mental energy and making us feel worse. If you think you're resting but still exhausted, this could be why. This has been prompted by I've had a funny couple of weeks where I just felt the need to rest more. You know, we had a fire in the house, which was very scary, but we're very, very thankful that it was contained as much as it was. And now we're sorting through the insurance and the 30 grand's worth of damage that's been done, but very, very grateful nonetheless. But you've got to understand that sometimes things happen where you really need to take rest. But it prompted me to think in general, how many of us as business owners or leaders just don't take enough rest? And it's so important, right? Rest will increase productivity and focus. Rest allows your brain and body to actually repair itself. Yeah? Rest allows your memory to be optimal. You need it to be able to formulate ideas and listen to your intuition. Basically, you actually need rest to be able to get anything done. When you don't rest, you will procrastinate more, as your body and brain's way of trying to force you to take a break. You're more easily overwhelmed. Your memory and cognitive function are impaired, meaning you do a worse job at the things you're trying to do. So you may as well take the bloomin' rest. You ignore the physical symptoms that might be screaming at you, the headache, the backache, the illness. You know, also your ability to problem solve and think on your feet are impaired. Your brain feels foggy. How much harder does everything feel when you haven't had some proper rest in a while? How are you with decision making, problem solving, handling things that come up that you hadn't planned for, like a house fire? How do you show up in relationships with your kids? How innovative do you feel? If you struggle to rest, stop, switch off, there could be more at play that might need delving into, where it could feel unsafe to your nervous system to rest, or you could need to do all the time so you don't have time for the quiet where the thoughts creep in. You know the ones. We also have to bring into the conversation and be honest about the societal gratification and glorification of work. Beast mode, push, 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 hustle, hustle, hustle. Rest can be seen as weak or slacking off in some way. It's also worth mentioning how often this is reinforced to us too. You're doing such a great job. You're working so hard. You must be doing so well. I really appreciate all your hard work. Thank you so much. Validation and praise indeed. It's craziness when you really think about it. There's so many reasons it could feel like a struggle to rest because you're working against all of this, hence the guilt. You know you need it, but all the unconscious pressure takes hold. You could be following a parental or primary caregiver pattern where you watched and modeled your parents or primary caregiver not taking rest. It could be lots of potential things that once you make conscious can be healed and changed. Yeah, it could be a coping or protection mechanism that can be helped with some emotional regulation tools and techniques. There could be some unconscious beliefs of I'm not good enough at play, causing you to overwork and feel guilty for taking time off. Hello, perfectionist. Yeah, all these ways that we build into our psyche that rest is a bad thing. Perhaps you think you don't deserve it or you haven't earned it. And we need to challenge these thoughts pronto. Now, where are you telling yourself these things? And what are you telling yourself resting actually means? You're wasting time. You're not successful. Who told you that? Where did you pick it up from? Has it come from you? Sometimes it can even be something like a totally misguided thing that was said to us from when we were young, where we were told we were lazy when we were resting or doing nothing, in inverted commas, or sleeping in late. Yeah, we actually learn and are programmed that it's a bad thing to do. So no wonder it comes with so much guilt and can feel hard sometimes. Look how much we're up against subconsciously. But we've got to pick it apart and see where the truth really sits. So we've assessed that rest is important. We've assessed why it might be difficult. What next? If taking a week or even a day off right now feels that little bit too much, jumping from A to Z, how could you start to train little bits of rest into your day or week? This is part of the reparenting process, which is kind of giving yourself things that you didn't get when you were young. And that's no disrespect or meaning anything negative towards parents. We're all doing the best thing that we can with the information that we have. Nobody's taught this. Why aren't we taught this stuff in school? Why? It's a real bugbear. But figuring out these little ways in which you can do things that are good for you, that benefits you. Why are treating yourself well into your brain and nervous system instead of beating yourself up for looking after yourself, which is essentially what we do, right? And that starts with challenging the narrative. Then it's the small ways that we can start looking after ourselves and start keeping promises to ourselves. And a little aside, just watch how your self-esteem and self-trust starts to grow with this too. Oh, magical. So what really helps you to mentally and physically switch off? I'm a big fan of a power nap. I've talked about this a lot. It really is like a little reset for your brain in the day. 20 minutes, absolute max. You can't go over the 20 minutes. Well, you can, but it's not going to do you any good because you'll go into a different sleep cycle. So what I do is I set my alarm for 25 minutes to allow myself a little minute either side to kind of adjust, so to speak. So next one, walking or sitting in nature, being mindful is a great way to give yourself some rest, some mental switch off from the whirring thoughts and the to-do lists. Yeah? Meditation, obviously, is a biggie for this, and you can grab my free Stress to Success meditation as a starting point. It is everywhere. It's in the show notes of this episode, it's on my website, it's in my bio on Instagram, it's everywhere. Go get it if you haven't got it yet. I also have some meditations that I've created myself that are available in the shop on my website. So all you need to do is go to franexcel.com/shop. But there's tons of other meditations out there that you can do. My point being, it's a really good way to kind of get you to mentally rest for a little bit. Next, what could you do to make sure you're getting more real rest? So for me, it is really about listening to my body and setting some boundaries. Because the thing is when your body's screaming at you to rest, there's no point fighting it. There's just not. It'll do you more harm and more damage mentally and physically and emotionally. It's just not worth it. So we can probably all agree it would be easy to fill all our hours with work as a business owner. Firstly, hopefully because we love what we do, but also because the agenda is yours. You'll never get to the bottom of a to-do list. It just evolves over time. And when you've got all this unconscious programming at work, yeesh. So setting boundaries like no computers after 9 p.m, finishing around 5 every day, not working weekends, no work in inverted commas before 9 a.m, things like that. I set my phone to do not disturb between 9 a.m and 9 p.m every single day. 9 p.m and 9 a.m, whichever way you want to look at it. So the only way that I see notifications is if I intentionally decide to do it, which becomes my choice rather than an unconscious draw of a dopamine hit when you see the little pings, the little red circles pop up like little temptresses trying to steal your attention. So what do you like to do to unwind? How can you do more of it? The bottom line is, if you don't take this seriously and you get to the stage of burnout where you are really forced to rest, is that a better alternative? Probably not. Don't allow the hustle culture to suck you in. You set the rules. Think, what allows me to be creative? What allows me to get into flow? What really helps me switch off? But don't do it in a numbing way. Do it in a mindful way. Yeah? Don't allow the hustle culture to suck you in. You set the rules and you get to challenge the narrative. You get to challenge what you see and what you feed your brain. So, how you're going to get a little bit more rest, my love. So if you got value from this and you know in your gut that now is the time to step up and start rewiring your thinking and start changing things for yourself, then book in a free discovery call so we can work out what needs to happen to get you from where you're at right now to the action-taking success you know you can be. If you want my eyes and ears on your problems, then I work with people one-on-one and through my programs. You can find all the details to book in a call in the show notes, the link in my bio on Instagram and on my website, franexcel.com. So stop waiting for if and when and choose to change things now, because you 100% can. I am here to believe in you when you don't believe in yourself. And as always, I hope you found this helpful and I will see you next week. Bye.